Hey, my name's Erin and welcome to my channel. I'm sad today, you guys. I'm not doing so hot. So this video is probably just going to be me venting, I guess, because I need somebody to talk to, and of course the brightest idea in the world is putting your emotions out on the internet. That's super smart, right? But yeah, so this probably won't be the most enjoyable video in the world, but I don't really feel up to doing anything else. But I really want to do something for the week. I don't want to miss a week. So I'm just going to talk. We're going to chat. So yeah. I also got like 3 hours of sleep last night because of said being sad thing. I had a really bad panic attack. I talked about panic attacks a bit in my last anxiety video. Not that this is an anxiety video, although it might turn into me talking about anxiety. I don't know, but I'll link that below. Maybe. Probably not. I don't know. So yeah. So I'm thinking, so basically, yeah. So basically I'm home from college now, and the thing is, and I think this is the case with a lot of people, when everything's really super duper crazy and you can't really focus on anything, and then like school ends or there's a vacation or there's something where everything slows down for a second, I think that all those emotions that you didn't have time to feel just come like whoosh into your brain, and then it's like it feels like the world just exploded. And I feel like that's kind of where I am right now. And also I think that as I get older, I'm starting to understand why I react to things the way I do and why my brain works the way it does, and I'm very self-aware. And I think a part of recovery from anything, any type of mental thing, is very much about becoming self-aware. But the thing about being more self-aware is that it's almost like one of those things where you need to completely tear yourself apart to put yourself together. It's like the only way to heal is like to completely like tear yourself open and be like a total and complete mess first. So maybe I'm in that stage of the process. I don't know. Basically, what I'm starting to learn about anxiety and my anxiety is a lot of the fact that I've spent the last almost 10 years of my life isolating myself and pushing people away that cared about me, and now I'm here and I'm 20. So now I'm here and I'm that age. And it's like, I literally wasted so much of my life, and first of all, it like freaks me out because time freaks me out, the passing of time freaks me out, and I feel very overwhelmed about that. And then I was also thinking, like, I hate that other people have to feel that way too. So many people have to. Like, I feel like there are so many, especially on YouTube and stuff, you see so many like really young kids on it, and a lot of young kids dealing with this kind of stuff. And like, it's like, I hate that I know that these people that like, it's so easy for, I think, an outsider to be like, oh my gosh, you're wasting your life being sad all the time. But you really are, like, it's a waste of hating yourself and being afraid of the world, and isolating yourself is such a waste of your energy and such a waste of your life, because you're closing in on yourself when you should be opening up. And when you're closing in on yourself, you can't give all that you have to offer to the world. And I talked about this before, that every single person has a specific thing and reason that they're on this planet, and a specific thing that only they can do for the world. And when you're so caught up in this whirlwind of anxiety and depression and blah 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 blah, it's absolutely impossible to give all that stuff to the world, because the things that you're even if you don't know what you're supposed to give to the world, you normally have some little idea of something that's a part of it. It's like, oh, I really, really love writing. I really, really love doing this. I really, really love when I make people feel this way. You have some idea of it, but I feel like when you're so caught up in anxiety and depression, even the things that you used to love so much, it's not that you don't love them anymore, you just physically can't get yourself to focus on them. Like, I know with me, I love writing, and I've always wanted to write because all I want to do is elicit emotion in people. And I physically, like, if I sit down to write, I'll write like a sentence and then my brain's somewhere else and I can't focus on it. And then I get so mad at myself because I feel like such a failure because I used to be so good at this, and now it's like, now the only thing that I was ever good at, I'm not good at anymore. And I'm such a failure, and oh my gosh, and blah, 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 blah. And my camera just died mid-tirade. I don't know if that was it sending me a message to be like, stop recording, don't upload this. But I forgot my place, but I know I was talking about something depressing. I'm gonna assume I was talking about isolating yourself. And something else I've realized about isolating yourself, and I know this applies to other people as well. I know all the stuff that the only reason I'm even talking about this like publicly is A, I'm lonely, but the other reason is because I know that like I'm not the only person in the world with these problems, and I'm not going to pretend that I am, and it's like, oh, woe is me. I know that a lot of other people feel this way, but I know that it's one of those things, I think anxiety and depression and mental disorders and stuff, I feel like they're one of those things where logically you know that so many other people are struggling with them, but at the same time you feel like you're the only one and you feel completely alone. And it's like this weird like paradox, but like, so I'm here to be like, you're not alone, as cheesy as that sounds. But yeah, and I've also, in my quest towards recovery, which is not going so smoothly, I've realized due to, basically, without telling you too much, last night I had, maybe not a fight with, I have one best friend. I have one really, really close friend, and I basically, okay, my entire life, all my friends, I'm one of those people, I'm an empath by nature, and what that means is, and tons of people with anxiety and depression are empaths as well, because it's just, you're more susceptible to these kind of things when you're like this, and basically it means you're hyper empathetic and you feel everybody's stuff, so everybody's sadness and pain and happiness and mad and anger and everything, you feel it and you take it on yourself, and it's extremely overwhelming. And the way that I go to a therapist, and she's awesome and I love her and I'm in no way ashamed of that, the way that she puts it is, she's like, being an empath, it can either be the biggest gift in the world because you care about people so deeply, or it can be the biggest curse in the world because you care about people so deeply that it like destroys you. And basically, whenever I have friends, I put everything I have into them and care about them way too much. And a lot of the times, once they find people who are better than me, they just kind of toss me aside. And this has happened with every single good friend I've ever had in my entire life. And I think when you deal with that kind of stuff over and over again, and once again, I know this happens to tons of people too, so correct me if I'm wrong about any of this stuff, but I feel like when this stuff happens over and over again, you kind of get into that mindset where you're like, no matter what, every single person is going to do this to me. And a lot of it is me doing it to myself, because I do get so attached and I get so, but even though I'm so attached to people, I isolate myself. And then as I've gotten older, and this has happened more and more, I start to try to destroy the friendships before the person leaves. So what I mean by that is I almost like try to pick fights almost, and try to tell the other person that they hate me and all that like attention-seeking, gross stuff that I'm ashamed of. And basically what it is it's you're so scared of losing these people that you try to make them leave your life and tell you that they're going to leave your life, because it's almost like, well, this is going to happen anyway, so I just want to rip the band-aid off now. But at the same time, if you were to say all the things that I'm telling you that you're saying, if you were to tell me that you hated me and you didn't want me around and all this stuff, I would be crushed. And it's like this weird masochistic like tendency, and once again, correct me if I'm wrong and if I'm the only insane, horrible human being that does this, but I feel like a lot of people do this and feel this way. And I've been listening to a lot of old episodes of Loveline with Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla, and Dr. Drew says that when you deal with things in your past, you try to destroy your relationships. And Dr. Drew is a pretty smart guy, although I don't agree with everything he says. So, yeah. But, so I was thinking about that a lot last night, as I was, like, having a panic attack. It was great. It was really fun. And, I don't know if you can see it, but due to all of this anxiety, I have, like, a volcano on my forehead. I put concealer on it for this video because I thought it might be distracting. So if there was, like, a third human on my head, because it was just like, look at me. And I also put this this like spot treatment stuff on it today that like turns white when you put it on, and I forgot it was on, and I went to the gym and I left the gym and I realized I had this big white blotch on my forehead, which was super cool. And I wonder why I don't have friends. But anyway, back to what I was saying. It's like, I was thinking, like, why do we, and I think that a part of recovering from anything, even if you're just somebody who tends to destroy your friendships and relationships out of fear of losing the person, I think that acknowledging that is a step towards improving it. And I wish I could tell you how you can stop it, but I think it's important because, like, I slept on it and I woke up this morning and I was kind of like, maybe it's not as much this person disliking me as me, or me wanting this person to dislike me, as much as it is my being so scared of it coming out of the blue and being like, one day being like, oh, I don't want to be your friend anymore, that I'm like, maybe if I can just cut the tie now, I can, because it's going to happen anyway, right? But that's so not a good way of being. And if you go into every single friendship with that mentality, I mean, like, can you really expect people to want to be around you if you're constantly trying to sabotage your own relationship? Like, that doesn't make sense, and that's so not fair to the other party. So, yeah, this was a horrible video and will probably not be up very long. I just wanted to talk about that, and if it resonated with anybody, that's great. If not, I'm sorry. I just, honestly, I don't really, my head's like, okay, I cried a lot last night, and I would like to invent a term called the post-cry hangover, where I've never been hungover in my entire life, but I feel that this is what being hungover feels like. It's like you have a migraine headache and you're dehydrated and everything hurts and your face is super puffy and your eyes hurt and you're like, my brain doesn't work. I would like to invent that term, and I would like it to be a viable excuse for this monstrosity of a video. If you watched, you get applause. I will see you guys next week, hopefully with something decent. If you have any requests, let me know down below. Yeah, thanks for watching. Bye, guys.